crimes and becoming homeless and selling drugs because it's basically impossible to get a job. 4% of money going to education is wrong as well. These children that are in school are the upcoming generation that most likely are going to be running things in the future. You should want them to have efficient knowledge as today's society, or even better. 59% of money going to the military is ridiculous. I understand that they are our country's protection, but the economy is suffering because of it. We should just make world peace. 40% should be given to the military, and the rest should be divided up to the education, programs, labors, housing, and energy.
My name's Jossie, and I think that we should spend a little more money into the school systems. We only spent 4% in the school systems. Spend 59% of all our tax money on the military. Have people die, but we could be saving people, getting people better education, getting them sports, getting them scholarships.
I think 59% to the military is way too much. We need to give back maybe to education. I was in college. I'm in debt about $40,000. I'm just now paying it off. If anything, you should give a stipend for someone who goes to college. Don't require them to go to the military, but have them give back in some other way. I mean, the military isn't the only way in this country to succeed. Also, technology is a good thing to put some of the money into. Maybe we should take a larger percentage go to technology and also the housing, because I know a bunch of people who do live in the projects and they want to live in a better home. I mean, you just fall in certain situations. So maybe re-educate the people let's re-educate the people who have kids, who are 18 years old and have 18 and under who have kids. Let's teach them so their kids ain't out robbing and stealing. I think that would be a good situation.
Thank you. That was just a little snippet from the youth of the area. And I forgot to ask if, before you give your testimony, would you please state your name, the city that you live in, and if you're representing an organization. And we'll begin with Grace Brinker.
This will go down.
Yes.
I'm not Grace Brinker. She sent written testimony, so I'm reading it for her. She's from Kent, Ohio. She quoted from the League of Women Voters of the U.S. Their document on impact on issues 2010 to 2012. So when I say quote, that's where it's being quoted from, League of Women Voters. She said, "Since my husband and I cannot attend the meeting concerning the budget, we thought it best to share our thoughts with you by letter. First, we would like to," and this is a quote, "support adequate and flexible funding of federal government programs through an equitable tax system that is progressive overall and that relies primarily on a broad-based income tax. We support a federal role in providing mandatory universal old age, survivors, disability, and health insurance. As far as healthcare budget policy, we'd like one that promotes a system for the U.S. that provides access to a basic level of quality care for all U.S. residents, and controls health care costs." End of quote. Our budget should, quote again, fund entitlements, provide mandatory universal old age, survivors, disability, and health insurance, end of quote. The budget should drastically reduce all military spending to fund wars. The budget should promote responsible deficit policies. Thanks for this opportunity, Grace Brinker.
Ruth Gibson. If you feel like you can speak from where you're sitting, that would be fine. If not, you can come up here. Just in the interest of time, if you feel like you have a loud enough voice, you could just stand up and speak.
I probably loud enough.
Can I interrupt you? It doesn't help for television if she's not speaking by the microphone. If you don't mind. I know I have nothing to do with that part, but it would help me.
My name is Ruth Gibson. I'm a longtime resident of Akron, Ohio. And I think we're all here today because we have a lot of concerns about the condition of our state and of our nation. Those concerns include persistent unemployment, destruction of civil liberties and civil rights, grotesque imbalance in tax structure, permanent warfare, and despoiling of the environment. These are clearly within the purview of the United States Congress, both houses. We've elected you to represent us. Instead, many of the representatives seem to be in bed with special interests and helping the 1% of the wealthiest further to amass fortunes, much of it from our tax dollars. Both Democrats and Republicans have led us to this juncture and has stood by weak-kneed and compromising of our most treasured and hard-won rights. We have the Patriot Act where the government spies on the people, but the government is unwilling to regulate those who rob us of our wealth, destroy our economic and civic institutions, and yes, I'm speaking of unions, and decimate our environment. The purpose of government is to serve and protect the people who give that government the ability to govern us. It does not appear that this budget is a sincere effort to address the human needs that the people of this country actually have, but rather is an opportunity for name-calling, finger-pointing, and blackmailing the American people. What we demand from our representatives is creation of civilian jobs that will provide our people the ability to support ourselves, educate our youth, and secure our future. We are not costs to be kept down. We demand to live with dignity and economic security. We need massive job creation by the government. Thank you.
We're going to try another little tactic in the interest of time. We'll call 3 of you up at a time. If you'll sit in the front 3 seats, and then it won't take so long to get up here. And forgive me if I am saying this name incorrectly. Robert Franklin, okay, Tara Satterfield, and David Young. And we'll begin with Robert. Did I get that right? Is that right? Okay, thank you.
My name is Robert Franklin. I live in Schwäbisch Germany, and I am back in Akron for less than 24 hours.
Speak up now.
And this is the first time I am speaking in English before an audience in 40 years. So if I break into another language, forgive me. The budget cuts due to the huge expenditures for ineffective and dangerous weapons and immoral wars, concerning the protection of the environment and the development of alternative energy sources, not only lowers the quality of life of every citizen, but also hinders the creation of hundreds of thousands of new jobs in industries and increases our dependence on fossil fuels and giant corporations which control their distribution. Thank you.